Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new around here, my name is Nits, or if you're not new around here, welcome back. As you guys can tell by the title of today's video, we're gonna do something a little bit different today. And if you're subscribed to my channel, you would have seen that a few videos back, I opened up about my biggest insecurity and about my nose job. And when I put up the video, I really didn't know what to expect. It was more therapeutic for me to just address it, get over it. It's something that I'm working on, but you guys were so sweet. The amount of messages and the comments that I got were just, I didn't expect that at all. So I want to thank you guys for being so amazing and so encouraging, and I'm just so proud to be a part of this community of such strong, independent women who build each other up. But anyway, bringing it back to today's video, I asked you guys on stories if you wanted to see more chit chat style videos about topics that are close to my heart like that, aside from just fashion and beauty. So for example, self-love, body image, power of the universe, manifestation, all the stuff that I'm super into and never really opened up about. And the response obviously was yes, and my most requested topic was self-love and body image in the age of social media, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So I have some tea here. We're about to spill the tea. As you guys can tell, I'm just hanging out here on my bed. I thought this would be a fun place to kind of have these chit chat videos, like we're just, you know, a couple of girlfriends hanging out on my bed spilling the tea. Where do I start? So obviously the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about social media and body image is Instagram. And we all know that Instagram is just one big highlight reel of everyone's best moments, best photos, best angles. It's everyone's best face forward. There's just this pressure to always be perfect, and it could be something as little as an Instagram face filter that I'm sure we all use, and it's something that I'm personally working on myself. I found myself feeling so self-conscious to hop on stories without one. I don't know why, because you see me here on video, like you see me in my photos. I know that I don't look like that filter with the perfect wing liner and my eyes upwards and my lips all pouty. And I think people slowly are getting tired of these filters and they want that realness. At first it was fun. Snapchat started it way back. But now again, people want realness, and I think the industry is changing, even though it's changing slowly. There's definitely change towards sharing both your highs and lows on Instagram and to just be more real and relatable. I think at the end of the day, it's what we all want, and we're finally taking a stand and asking for it. And that goes for myself as well. I think when I finally put up my nose job video and opened up to you guys about it, I found myself embracing it more ever since that video. I, you know, didn't feel the hatred that I felt towards it when I looked at my left side, and I thought that, you know, I don't know, I found myself embracing it more. And I think a big part of that is because of you guys being so sweet and just so encouraging, and just so many girls message me that they're going through the same thing, and you just realize that you're not alone and people relate to you because of your flaws and because of what makes you you, not what makes you perfect, or not what, you know, Instagram wants you to be. That makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. When it comes to my personal self-love and my body image journey, there's definitely a lot that comes to mind. I've never fully opened up about this, and I don't want to get into too much detail about it, but around high school, or in grade 12, so few years back, I'm very well at high school, I developed an unhealthy relationship with food that took me a couple years to work on. So this all started around prom time for me, and I don't know what about prom triggered this, but I started really watching what I was eating. That's when I started working out in grade 12-ish for real, and just becoming really self-conscious of my body and really so much more aware of my body. I was never overweight. I definitely had my chubbier moments, and I've always loved food. But obviously as we get older, we become more self-conscious. We start working out and you're more in touch with your femininity, and you're, you know, are becoming a woman, and you're starting to, you know, take notice of your body. For me, I think it started spiraling out of control, and I really started depriving myself from different foods and just developing this obsession with, you know, losing weight for prom, which in retrospect, so stupid. And then I obviously graduated grade 12, went into university, and freshman 15, is real. I gained 15, if not more, but I had a good time. I went out with friends, I was eating a lot, going to restaurants with my new friends from university. It's a thing and it happens, and I think it's a part of life. And then reality kind of hit me and I realized I was gaining weight, and I kind of spiraled back into what I was experiencing before, and it got even worse. So I started tracking my calories. I tracked every single thing that I ate and how many calories, you know, it was worth on an app. And then I would go to the gym and try to work off all those calories so that my balance would be 0, which, as I'm sure you guys are aware, is not healthy. You need nutrients. You need to fuel your body with food. Your body needs energy. It needs to protect itself. You need food for your immune system. You need food to live and be healthy and breathe. But anyway, I didn't care, and it really spiraled out of control, and it affected me both physically and mentally. I wasn't happy. It was a constant conversation in my head. I had different tactics that I used, like listening to music when I was hungry to just avoid eating food, or, you know, saving photos of girls on Instagram, and when I get hungry, look at their photo. It was very unhealthy, and it came to the point where my parents noticed, and it was just a problem in our household. And I went to see 2 specialists to kind of help me get out of it, and I'm super thankful to them because it really stopped it from getting any worse. And I think, you know, as I grew older, and I started to just love my body, and I think every year I started appreciating the curves and, you know, my cellulite and stretch marks. I think, like I said, Instagram is slowly heading towards more of that, and girls are opening up about, you know, their quote-unquote flaws that aren't really flaws. It's just you being real, and, you know, whoever sees that post relates to it, whether you're a blogger or whether, you know, you're just in high school. I think anyone who follows you appreciates realness and relatability. What I'm trying to get at is a lot of that, I think, was due to the fact that I was comparing myself online to different body types, and, you know, this standard of beauty that I didn't feel like I matched because of what was out there in the media and in social media. When it comes to comparing yourself on social media, there are 2 things obviously that come to mind. One is body image, and one is your success and your journey and where you are in life. Obviously with self-love and body image, I'm sure we've all caught ourselves down this road before. We've all saved body inspo photos and just started to feel, you know, down and upset when we didn't feel like we looked like what was considered beautiful. We all spend way too much time on our phone. We are constantly seeing images and videos of people who have it all together, whether it's their career and their job or their body and their face. I'm sure we all know this, but every photo that gets uploaded on Instagram is one out of a whole camera roll of other outtakes that are not, you know, perfect. And every photo that you see has been curated to perfection. It has the perfect lighting, the perfect angle, when in reality, us girls, we're in messy hair buns and no makeup and pimple cream, just chilling on our phones on our bed. And when we see that, we get down on ourselves. It's inevitable. When you realize that you're doing this, it's up to you to make it stop and make a change. So unfollow any account that doesn't make you feel good and start following accounts that only uplift you. There are so many of those accounts today, and I think, like I said, people are really starting to share both their highs and lows and show their Instagram versus reality moments. I know Emma, Sophie, Raina, and I started Sabotage 3567, where we share all the funny sabotage outtakes that happen behind the scenes that you don't see when you see our, you know, quote-unquote curated photos. The response to that account was super positive, and I myself tried to share my Instagram versus reality moments. People just really appreciate it. I know I appreciate it when other people do it, so I want to do more of that myself. I think you just start to realize that the pressure to be perfect is only pressure when you give into it, and it's just pressure that we put on ourselves. So once you realize that and kind of stop comparing yourself to other people online and embrace, you know, who you are and your quirks and your flaws, you realize that people relate to you because of those things. People relate to you because of who you are, and if you're trying to be like anyone else, it only does you a disservice. If you want to work out and you want to get fit and you want to better yourself, do it for yourself because it feels good and because you want to be healthy, not because you're trying to meet this standard of beauty that's out there or to give in to the pressure that you feel on Instagram. So like I said, a whole other area where you compare yourself on social media aside from body image is your success and your journey and where you are in life. The biggest thing that comes to mind that I want to talk to, which is extremely relevant if you're a blogger, if you're in the social media industry, is the number game, and it's the follower game and your engagement and your reach. And it's a very number-based industry, and it's hard to not get caught up in that. We see it in movies, we see it in Black Mirror. People associate your status to how many followers you have and, you know, how famous you are, and that also is inevitable in the industry. But you need to realize, and I worked on this too, that numbers don't measure your worth. So it also goes for body image. Obviously, the size of your jeans doesn't measure your worth, but also your follower size and your audience size and your reach and your engagement, that doesn't measure your worth. And I found myself really wanting to get to 10K when I started to have other people take me seriously. And then when I hit 10K, it was about getting 50K. When I hit 50K, it was about getting 100K. And then I had to just realize no number is ever going to be enough. You can always have more followers. You can always have more money. You can always have more and more and more. But it's hard, especially if you are in the industry and you are a blogger. Brands and your paycheck ultimately is measured by your audience size and your follower count and your engagement and your reach and all these metrics that are number driven. So it's really hard not to get caught up in that. And I'm sure any blogger or any influencer, anyone in the industry watching, you know that it gets very tough when you work so hard to create this content and you put it up there and it doesn't perform. When you put up a photo and it doesn't perform, you get down on yourself. It's all about people's validation on Instagram, and when you don't get a certain number of likes or comments, you feel like no one cares and you're not worthy and you're not good enough. Getting invited to events and fashion week, and brands take you more seriously if you have more followers, and it's very discouraging as someone who is just starting out. I know I felt that, and in some ways and in some circumstances sometimes I still do, but I really try to remind myself that it's nothing but numbers. It is not a way to measure your worth. You need to measure yourself based on the type of person you are, the type of friend you are, the type of sister, daughter, girlfriend, and person you are, the type of citizen you are, and what you do to contribute to the world and what message you're supporting. On the other hand, obviously, when you work in the industry full time, the numbers that you have on Instagram, for example, your followers, is definitely a goal, and it's a way to keep yourself in check, whether you're a blogger or whether you're a brand. You see all the time people celebrating reaching 100K and 200K and 300K, and I think it's definitely important to celebrate your achievements. It's definitely an achievement to get to that level, so don't get me wrong, I'm not taking away from that at all, but I think we give it too much importance and we use it way too much to define who we are and define our success. More than ever, the industry is driven by girl power, and we see women supporting women all the time, and you just have to learn to celebrate someone else's achievements. I think it takes a lot of self-growth to do that. You have to realize that someone else's success is not a measure of who you are or of you being less than or unworthy of. If anything, when you see someone accomplishing something, it only means that it's possible. Women in the industry are paving the way for each other. When you see someone else accomplishing something, it should give you a kick in the butt to work harder and achieve something similar, if not that. I've worked to shift my mentality when it comes to that as well, and I actually have a saved folder on my Instagram called Goals, where I save different moments of different people's careers that I think are inspiring, whether someone came out with a book or whether someone made the Forbes 30 under 30 list, or all these different moments. I choose to look at that as inspiring and get so excited that that is possible and want it for myself that I'll file it under goals, and that becomes a goal of mine. It comes down to being confident in your skin, realizing that everyone is on a different journey, and whether you're comparing, your follower count to someone else's, you might get there, but at a different time. You are set for a different journey in life. There are different things that happen to different people at different times, and you have to be confident in your journey. You have to enjoy your journey and realize that you are going to get where you are meant to be, and just let go. Just have fun. Don't put that pressure on yourself for no reason. You know what I mean? But with all that said, and I've clearly done too much talking because I'm not even done my tea here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and leave any requests or any topics you want to chat about next in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video, where hopefully I can finish 1 cup of tea. Bye guys!